Okay, so come on up to standing. And if you just give yourself enough space to be able to take a foot back and a foot forward, just in case you're limited for room. And then start by bringing your right leg just a really comfortable stride forward. Don't make it anything too long, and pull the top of the foot back towards you. So you're trying to rest right on the back of your heel. And then slowly bring your chin down onto your chest. Pause there for a moment and let the shoulders just drop down. Then turn your palms so they're facing back behind you and curl your fingers up, making two little fists. Continue to roll down. Take your time to really try to articulate the spine rather than just bending at one specific backbone. And when you get to whatever is your lowest point, on that right leg, if the baby toe side is kind of twisting and turning away from you, can you pull it back towards you? Notice if you're trying to hold your balance by slightly sticking the chin forward and shortening the neck. See if you can really let your head hang, let your knuckles hang to the floor, but draw the ribs up. And then start the journey back up, letting the pelvis come back and sit on top of the legs first. And then letting the rest of the spine stack all the way up. When you get all the way up top, take both arms up to the ceiling, interlace the fingers, take an inhale here, and then start to stretch up and back away from that front leg. Let the pelvis go forward as much as possible. Come back to center, let the arms come down, and now turn the palms so they're facing outward. And then go one more time, bring the chin onto your chest, roll down. So the reason we're messing around with the arms is we're stretching a particular fascial line. And when you start moving the arms around, you start to get different parts of that line to stretch. So at the bottom, the head tries to hang, the ribs draw up, the arms find this really distinct inward rotation, opposite to what we've been playing with all week, and then start to rewind the journey back and up. When you get to the top, bring that funny arm arrangement up with the back of the hands trying to touch each other. And if they won't, just keep them shoulder width apart is just fine. Let the arms reach up and then stretch back, pressing the hips forward, and then watching that the back knee tries not to bend. And then come forward and let your arms come by your side. Now take the same leg back behind you and stand on the ball of the foot, but the heel is quite small. Don't go for a big lift off. And then go again, roll the spine down and forward. And just notice any difference that it feels to have this leg step back as opposed to step forward. And again, head hangs, arms hang. Just pay attention to if you felt the pelvis swing off to one side. Can you do anything to center yourself up and then rewind? When you get close to bringing your head up, bring that right arm up toward the ceiling. Take again a big inhale, stretch up and stretch back, sending the pelvis forward and lifting the chest up high. And then one more time, bring everything forward and down. Let yourself roll down. And now at the bottom of this one, is it possible to shift the weight into the front foot and bend the back knee, taking the foot off the floor and then bringing it down? And doing that a couple of times, see if you can weight shift forward into the front foot, take the back foot off the floor, bring it back down. One more time. And then can you keep that back foot really light so all the weight is on the front foot, and rewind yourself back up? Then take that right arm toward the ceiling when you get to an appropriate place. Inhale up and stretch back, letting the pelvis reach forward, and then come center and stand the legs back in line. So now the left leg goes forward, so a small stride forward. You're more informed now about what you're going to do, and then pull back on the ankle. So as you go down, the 7 bones of the neck, they should be loosening up now. So take your time to articulate through each one of those. And then as you round forward, just look for those places, a lot of us have them, where it just becomes a bend from one point rather than a feeling of honestly articulating each backbone forward and down. And on this first one, look at the front foot. And if you can see the baby toe side is twisting away from you, pull it back in. Curl your hands into little fists at the bottom and hang the head, drawing the ribs up. And now rewind, bring the whole spine up. And as you get to an appropriate place, both arms come up, the fingers interlace. There's an inhale up and an exhale back. Come back to center, bring the arms down, and now turn the back of the hands towards each other, palms facing out. Rewind down again. And just notice all those kind of shifts and sways that your body tries to do as it navigates through the places that we all hold of tissue that's overused or underused. And then rewinding back and up to the top. And then taking that up and back stretch one more time when you get to the top. Great. And then when you're there, some of you can only see the bottom half, so I'm just going to guess. And then let the arms come down by your side. Now weight shift into that front foot so the back heel comes off a teeny tiny amount and then roll down again. So on this first one, we're going to stay on two legs, but you want that thought that most of your weight is over the front foot, that the back leg is resting really lightly on the floor. And if you stay shifted into that front leg, you might be able to feel the pull that comes down the back of the leg. When you rewind up, because we're all kind of going at a different tempo, the arm that belongs to the back leg is the one that's going to go up to the ceiling. And then you find your up and back bend there, reversing what you've just done. Great. And then one more time, rolling down. And then this is the one that we're going to see whether that front leg can really hold your weight. So the weight shifts into the front leg for you to see if you can bend the knee of the back leg, take the foot off the floor, bring it down. I feel like I've ended up on the same foot somehow. Last one. And then starting to rewind back and up. And then the last time, taking the arm that belongs to the back leg and stretching it up and stretching it back. And then coming back to center, just make sure you have enough room to roll down and out onto all fours from where you are. So bring your chin down. And then this time we're going to come fully down onto the mat. So bend the knees as much as you need to walk the hands forward and then find that all fours position. Once you have that, take a breath in. As you exhale, curl your tail under, round your back and tuck your head all the way in. Try to feel from the tailbone to the crown of the head, everything is flexing. And now inhale, extend the spine. Draw the chest up and forward, the gaze up and forward. Now, the next time you exhale and round your back, pull one knee in towards your chest, as if your head and your knee could come to meet each other. Now, as you inhale, extend the head and the leg in opposite directions, drawing the chest up. Good. Bring that knee home. As you exhale, pull the other knee in to meet your head, round your back a lot. Inhale, extend the leg, head, neck, chest in opposite directions, squaring the pelvis. Good. And bring the knee in. Now, as you exhale, tuck your head in, tuck your tail in, leave the knees where they are. But as you inhale and come out of it, choose an arm and reach that forward. Bring it back to the floor. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, extend the spine and extend the other arm. So now as you exhale, Can you bring your head and knee in towards each other? And as you inhale, can you let the opposing arm join in, lengthen and reach. Exhale, now bring the elbow and the knee to meet and the head tucks in. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Last one on this side. Exhale, extend elbow to knee. Reach it out and bring it home. So when you're set, exhale, head to knee first. As you inhale and extend your spine, take the opposing arm, reach it forward. Now exhale and bring the elbow, knee and head in. Inhale and reach them forward. Exhale, pull them in. Inhale, reach them forward. Last two, but make sure we really get the round of the spine, tail right under, head right in, and then the inhale and extend. Last one. And then bring it down and forward. So from here, when you're back on all fours, can you step your right leg forward into a ready, steady, go position? Good. Okay. Once you have that, let that front knee travel forward over your foot. And just take it until there's no more to be had. Now start to travel back towards the back foot. And initially, we're going to keep the front foot on the floor. So you go forward, let the knee go over the toes, and then start to travel backward. As you keep the foot flat, try to think about this big toe staying down. Two more times, reach all the way forward, pull all the way back. One more time, all the way forward, all the way back. Now in the all the way back, stay there and flip the foot back towards you. So the sole of the foot is off the floor. Okay, now this might just be me because this is my more loosey-goosey side, but I can feel that my pelvis is swinging to the left. So if you can notice that in you, can you think of shifting yourself back over to the right? Look at that right foot, pull the baby toe side towards you. And then in this kind of weird position, can you think of sending your tailbone or your sit bone up toward the ceiling, which should bring some conversation into that right leg. Now let the right foot come forward and down and upright yourself. So you're in this kneeling lunge position. Okay, just make sure when you upright, the front knee is sitting over its ankle or a little behind, but not ahead of it. Okay, now take your pelvis, drop it down and tuck it under, pull the pubic bone forward. It should kick a stretch into the front of that left thigh, left hip. So I want you to keep this tucked under position and then extend the arms out, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Take a twist to the right and then look back towards the back hand. Come center, take a twist to the left and again, look to the back hand. The exhale is a good breath to twist into. The inhale as you come center. The exhale as you twist back. Hips will have definitely had a ringing out by the end of this. And last one to the left. Great. Okay, now fold back over your front leg. Leave your left hand where it is on the floor. Take the right arm out to the side. Now turn your head and look along the right arm and spiral everything up toward the ceiling. And then come on back. Now, if you need to, stay in this more stable position or tuck the back toes under on the left leg, extend that leg, and then go again. Spiral up, keep pushing out through the back heel and come home. One more time. And come home. And then bring the hands down, let the back knee bend, let the toes soften, and then roll your spine back up to an upright position. Now step the front knee back in underneath you. Okay, with grace and control, the weight shifts onto the right leg and the left leg comes forward. Okay, pause here, take the tail, drop it down and tuck it under. So now looking for the opening on that right thigh hip joint. So the pubic bone is trying to pull forward and that should really open up the hip. Now let the arms come out to the side, palms facing up. So when you're ready, exhale, twist to the left, look to the back hand, center, twist to the right, look to the back hand and center. And then as you continue with that, we have 2 more turns. I want you to make sure the front knee stays facing forward, that you're not allowing that to wander around. Last one. And when you come center, bring the hands down and that front leg. Hopefully I'm not muffling myself there. Now from here, the right arm opens out to the side. Turn your head and start to, and then start to open it up toward the ceiling. And bring it back. Now, again, if you need to, stay here. Is that the right arm or the wrong arm? I feel like I just looked that way. I think it's the left arm, isn't it? Sorry, I'm sure I just looked at that dirty mark on my wall. It's the left arm. So let's just do one in this position. Turn and come on up. Great. Then if you want more work, tuck the back toes under, straighten the leg out, and then turn again. And come back to center. And one more time, inhale as you rotate. Keep the back leg active, whether it's bent or straight. Come on back to center. Let your hand come down, your knee come down, and then upright yourself and take that front knee to the back knee. Okay, from here, I want you to try not to let your bum go backward to begin with. Can you begin to roll down and see how far can you go before you can feel that you want to sit back to balance yourself and roll back up? So you're going to do that 2 more times. So you're on both knees, chin comes on your chest, roll down. I've got Jan frozen in a lunge. Oh no, she's back. Good. And roll back up. Great. Okay, so this time, find your maximum and then let your bum go back so that you can bring your hands on the floor. Walk forward and lie yourself down onto your stomach. Come on, Mr. Woodlouse. Okay, now when you lie onto your front, sorry, I'm just trying to rescue this woodlouse that was sitting on my mat and I flicked him off and now he's upside down. Okay, bring your elbows out to that W position. And for you guys, let your head rest down onto your mat. So light through the ribs, heavy through the pubic bone, either one leg at a time or both, or start with one leg and build up to 2, your choice. So the leg or legs lengthen and lift and come down. Whatever choice you've made, the goal is for you not to sink into the small of your back. So putting in the effort to keep lengthening the legs is what you're really trying to play with. If you're alternating legs, do whatever it takes now to balance up the amount you've done on each side. And when you place the leg or legs down, keep that feeling of length. Now inhale, bring the head up, pressing your elbows into the floor, and then press the hands down to extend the spine. Now remember, you have the freedom here, so you can move your hands to a different position if it feels more comfortable on your back. and then let the elbows bend and let yourself come back down. Pick up a leg or legs. As they go down, let your upper body come back up into the back bend. As you come down, let the legs lengthen and lift. And then see if you can get your own kind of rhythm and timing where you're like a little seesaw, rocking up and rocking down. Good. All right, last one here. And let yourself come all the way down. Flip onto your right side. And when you turn onto your side, swing both legs forward to the bottom right-hand corner of your mat or on a 45-degree angle to you. Once you have that, bend the top knee and stand the sole of your foot onto the ankle. In this position, there's a couple of things. Try not to tuck your bum under and flatten your back. See if you can stick your tail out. Now you want to play with your knee trying to open back, but your top hip staying forward. So when you cannot extract any more out of that joint, slide your foot up the inside of the thigh. Now think of bringing your knee towards your shoulder and then straighten the leg from there. As it comes down, it stretches out. So it's trying to land longer than the leg that's waiting. Bend the knee opens back, the hip goes forward. When you can't slide the foot up anymore, hold on to the bend, bring it towards your shoulder, extend the leg and bring it down. One more this way. Bring the knee in, extend, reach it down. Now you're going to reverse that. So you just kick the leg up, bend the knee right into the shoulder, find the inner thigh, slide your foot away. Kick it up, bend the knee to the shoulder, put the foot, slide it away. One more time. And slide it away. Now remember which is your top leg, the one you've just worked, and flip to lie on your back. Take the legs wider than hip width apart and let them roll outward, toes pointing east and west, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Whichever leg you just worked, bring that leg up and see if you can keep it in this slight turnout. So the inner thigh is kind of looking back at you. Circle the leg across your standing leg, around and up. Across the standing leg, around and up. One more time. Now reverse it. Out, down, across and up. Can you hold on to that inner thigh? Last one. And let the leg come down. Flip over onto the other side. Bringing the legs forward on that 45-degree angle or the front corner of the mat. Might help if I move to the back edge. And then bend the top knee. So the knee opens back, but this top hip goes forward. Then let the foot try to slide up the inside of the thigh, extend the leg up, and then reach, 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 reach to bring it down. Slide the foot all the way up, knee to the shoulder, toe to the ceiling, and heel beyond heel. One more time, slide up, knee comes in, extend, and reach. Now reverse that, kick up high, bend the knee to the shoulder, foot comes to the inner thigh, slide it away. Kick it up, bend the knee, slide it away. One last one. And again, now just remember the leg you've just worked and flip onto your back. Let the legs go wider than your pelvis and then flop the legs out so they find their natural turnout. And then bring up whatever is going to be your circling leg, trying to hold on to that slight turnout, and then circle across the standing leg, around and up. With just a little bit of momentum, it's hard on a grey day to feel energized. So Find a little bit of swing in your step and then reverse it. Last one here. And bring it down. Okay, so walk the feet in, bring the knees into the chest and give them a little hug into you. Put a hand on each knee and just circle the legs around a couple of times one way and then a couple of times the other way. Okay, now let them come back to center, and on your exhale, bring your upper body up and forward, bringing your head towards your knees, and then release yourself back down. So 2 more times. Exhale, up and forward, back and down. And one last one. And down. Now switch your hands to under the back of your thighs and rock up to sitting. Extend the legs out to long and sit back on your hands for me for a moment. Let the legs roll out, roll in. So easy range of motion. You're not trying to force anything anywhere, but just let the thigh bones, the hip joint have a second. Okay, now come on up to sitting. See if you can find your sit bones or as close to being up on top of them as possible, and bring your arms forward at shoulder height. Drop your chin slowly down towards your chest. And then you think of the stretch we've done this week. Can you think of your head diving through your arms? So the arms stay as if your hands were resting on the chair and everything else tries to dive through. Now, as you aim to reach for your toes, exhale all the air and pull the ribs and the abdominal wall in. Start to roll back away from your heels. And you guys all know how far back you can go. So as soon as you know you're going to lose it, roll home to the top. If you're going all the way down, when you're ready to come home, arms on the high diagonal, chin comes to your chest, articulate through the spine, and then come back to that stretch at the top, head dropping down, arms reach forward, belly pulls back, and then roll back again. Go to your limit, arms go overhead, reach forward, and roll up. Good, Sheila, just watch your shoulders, hun. Don't let them hunch too much at the top. Cool. The next time you come up to sitting, stay in the seated part. I'm just going to let everybody get back to the same place. Okay, so in this seated part, I'm sure we've had this conversation before, but just as a reminder, okay, you don't want to do this where the spine is pretty straight and then all you're doing is folding the top half. That's an awful lot of strain on the low back muscles. So I want you to upright yourself right now. Bring just your chin forward onto your chest. Now, the next part is to think about what's happening in your back. So we've explored before that big knobbly bone at the bottom of your neck. So that's called C7. The next one down, the first of your thoracic vertebra, can you start to roll that one forward? And then can you visualize between your shoulder blades and roll the next one forward and the next one forward? So that there's really no flat in your spine. Now, the goal of this is as much as you're trying to touch your toes, you're trying to oppose yourself. It's like playing your own version of tug of war. That if I were there, holding onto your wrists and pulling your arms, you would not be letting me pull you forward. You'd be resisting with everything. So actually the fingers really end up nowhere near the toes and certainly not past. Now start to roll back. Now you have a more rounded spine to bring down into the floor, and just roll back to where you know you can come from. Don't undo yourself, just go back from that position. Okay, come home, see if you can find the same position. So head goes in, and then you're thinking of your back like escalator steps up and over. Now, don't straighten anything, just roll straight back from that position. Jan, press your right hand flatter toward the floor. The baby finger side is tipping in. Yep. Good job. All right. And then when you're up at the top of this one, bend your knees. Make sure you have space to roll up and down behind you, that you're not going to hit anything. And then hold on to the back of your knees. Bring your head in and drop your shoulders down. So 4 times, roll along the floor and up, which is where now you want to be able to really create that round in your spine to articulate through all of your backbones. When you come up from number 4, take your hands away and see if you can roll without holding on and still trying to keep that rounded spine position. Last 2. Last 1. Cool. And then you guys are done.